Or iron.
Copper is like the
diamond.
weakest one?
Yeah.
Copper, iron.
him. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. So join Jovan and get your critical cap on. 'Cause there's a Bradley's baddie inside of me and you.
I was muted. Yeah. Hey guys. Hi. What you guys doing? Welcome to stream. I have been messing the fuck around with like building stuff. KY Fried Jelly, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. I'm loving this so far. We are here to debate today, 219-327-8005. We have Winnie screening currently. I'm just trying to work everything that I'm trying to work with this fucking system that I set up. Oops. Hey, I heard myself. So hopefully I can get this working. Okay, still nothing. Anyway. How are you guys doing? You guys want to hear the topics for today? I'm sure you want to hear the topics for today. First, Zerth, Moonpaw, and Ferocity are the two that got first. Zerth got first and third. Interesting. Maris 8. Thank you for subscribing at tier 1 for 7 months. Here are our topics today, everybody. Here are our topics today. 1, trans men and women are men and women. 2, gender affirming care for minors. 3, Christianity is false. 4, there's no reason to support Trump. And 5, abortion all 9 months. Those are our topics. Enjoy them. I built a tool for my mods and my screeners, and I'm like, this is the first time we're live, so it's the first time I could test this tool. So not only am I live talking to you guys and getting ready to debate, but I'm also like testing this tool out and trying to fix it and everything. Yeah, I can't argue those. Of course you can't. Come on. Let's test this poll feature. Here we're gonna test the poll feature. Hey guys, it's a poll. Option 1, love me. Option 2, love me more. Start poll. Let's see if this works. Did the poll work? Poll worked on Twitch. Okay, sick. Didn't work on YouTube. So there is an issue with the YouTube's. Wait, did it work on YouTube? Oh, no, it didn't work on YouTube. It only worked on Twitch. Very interesting. But hey, I can now run a poll feature from this thing, mods and screeners, now that you know. Guys, like the live if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that like button, okay? Don't make me beg. Don't make me beg, chat. No, I'm just kidding. I see. Okay, mods, the YouTube side. Okay, let me. I see. I have to apply for more stuff with Google. I see what's happening here. That sucks though. I was enjoying that. Anyway. The pirating of movies is about to be easy meta glasses. I need to get a pair of meta glasses for when I'm like at Disney and stuff. Oh, dope. Guys, 219-327-8005. Who's going to be the first person to debate me today? Should it say calling lines closed? No, it shouldn't. Who's on the jersey? Well, it's a Bulls jersey. Nobody. It's blank on the back. It's just Bulls. It is a blank, bare bones. I gotta switch my pants. I'll be right back. I'm wearing pants when I should be wearing shorts. I'll be right back. I'm gonna switch my pants real quick. I switched my pants, and now I'm wearing shorts. I switched my pants. Couldn't even get an MJ jersey. Negro, please. By the way, y'all want to hear the funniest shit in the world? You guys want to hear the funniest shit in the world? Somebody plans on canceling me by making like a video to expose me. You guys want to hear about it? It's so fucking funny. It's so funny. Somebody is real butthurt that I used the word redacted. I'm pretty sure I called somebody redacted at some point during a debate. You know how Jimmy likes to say redacted? I think I said it one time. It was fucking great. It was hilarious. And now this person is like, I'm gonna make a video exposing Jovan for saying redacted. I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Please shut up. Isn't that Jimmy's word? It's our word now, guys. I'm just fucking playing with you. And they were like, so yesterday that person got like access to the server because they got a like a gifted membership. So they come into the server to like, I can't believe you guys are letting Jovan do this and blah blah blah. And I'm like, bro, shut up. No one gives a fuck. Who cares? And then the funnier part is, so they created a ticket because K-Space was like, well, let me see, as a mod, let me see what's going on here. Right? So first of all, to be mad at me for not even using a slur is crazy. So they made a ticket, and K-Space was like, do you know if Jovan possibly might have a disability, like might be autistic or something? And they were like, well, it doesn't matter. Nobody should use the word. And K-Space was like, would you say that if he used like the N-word? And they were like, yes, no one should. And I was like, this nigga said I can't use the N-word? Negro, please. And so I just commented after like K-Space went off on him, and then I just commented in the thing, and I was like, this was a redacted conversation, and I banned them from my server. I was like, shut up, dude. I was like, shut up. It was very clear to me, right? Here's what was clear to me, is that this was the type of person who's not doing this because they think I'm harming a community. They're doing it because they want to feel morally superior. Because then they went in, they like sent me a message on Discord, and they were like, I'm making a video and this screenshot's gonna go so good in this video. I'm like, you just want clout. You just want clout, and you figured you could get it here. Like my chat gives a fuck. And they were like, and then homie, they said, and enjoy all that money you stole from the RFR charity. I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking? Not only can you go ask RFR if they received all the money that we raised for them, they'll tell you yes. They came on the stream. The heads of RFR were on the stream. And we're like, thank you guys for raising all of this money for us. My God. I've never wanted to use the actual slur so much in my life. Just be careful, Nightbot. He thought redacted meant the R. Well, no, it does. Like, let's keep it $1.50, right? When Jimmy says redacted, he's calling someone the R slur. Let's just be so for real. Let's just, like, I love the man, but let's just call it $1.50. He is useless. You know what? Low-key, do you guys remember that South Park episode where PC Principal gets all mad because someone types the R, like uses the R word in the thing, and he's like, who said that word? And it's Jimmy. It's fucking Jimmy. He's like, you gonna break his legs, PC Principal? Which is the funniest fucking, bro, low-key one of the funniest South Park episodes of all time. Low-key one of the funniest South Park episodes of all time. Published and deployed. Oh, okay. So that means it should work now. Let me see. Too bad PC Principal changed. No, I know. I'm kind of sad about it, right? I miss oh, no, never mind. There it is. Yes, bitch. Yes. Okay, mods, if you're in the new mod tool, you should be able to mod Twitch chat now from the tool. Ah, beautiful. God, this thing is fucking sick. But anyway, I almost said, I almost said, anyway, don't be a redact, but that's too harsh. That's too far, you know? I feel like that's going too far. Look up almost a slur from Drop. Oh, I've seen that a long time ago. Anyway, 219-327-8005 if you want to call in to debate. If you're too scared to debate, I understand. I am indeed a debate god. So I get it if you're like, oh no, I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want to wait for my debates to be over. VOD title, Jovan uses slurs. No, for sure. Wait, we gotta just for the rest of chat, just use words that sound like slurs. So like instead of the R slur, we could talk about how in music, if you start fast and want to slow down, you would do a retard. That's what it's called. I am retired. I just think, you know, I want to get a little bigger, you know, a little bigger. Let's stop. Okay. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Oh, God, that's so funny. Hey, Jovan, I hope you can debate those demons in hell about not torturing you for eternity. Hell doesn't exist. And if you believe in hell, fucking, I don't know, go back to school. Hey, mods, make sure you're using the new chat feature on that tool I gave you in order to communicate with each other during the stream. So that way we all know what's going on. I love that I can run polls from this. God, this is great. Plot twist, you can debate demons in hell. Yeah, my personal hell, if hell was real, which it's not, would be white people shouldn't use fake racial slurs, like using the ninja emoji is white nonsense. You know what I actually find so interesting that I think white people need to get better at? I don't care that they do it. I'm actually totally fine. When white people are lip syncing to a song and they get to a song that says nigga and they like don't speak, you need to make that bigger. You need to make, I don't mind that you're doing it and I don't mind that you like bleep out your, like you just close your mouth when you're saying the N-word. Totally fine with that. But some of y'all shut your mouth and open it so fast that like you can't really tell. So you need to be like, if you're dancing and you're like, ha ba da with a ba ba ba, like you gotta really make it be know that you're shutting your mouth. Anyway, 219-327-8005. Giovanni, have you seen the white guy Drewski skit? No, because I like life. Aki, did you get into the new mod tool? God, I love it so much. Oh, I love it. Bro's on one today? I'm on 7, actually. We got an Uncle Ruckus in the chat? No shot, B. We got an Uncle Ruckus? Here, I got you. Yeah. Now this can't be. Guys, fun fact. I'm just gonna be so for real with you. If you're a white person and you're in your private life and there's no black people around and you're listening to a song, you say the N-word, I don't give a fuck. I assume you do it anyway. So I don't care, right? Like there's nothing I can do about you saying it in your private life, right? There's quite literally nothing I can do about that. So I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know. What do you want me? Like, what do you want me to say? Like, oh, no, I'm going to find you. No, I don't give a fuck. How would I know? How would I know? Now, if you don't say it, fine, great. I think you're probably a better person than the people that do. All I'm saying is like, how would I know? It's called radio edit. No, true. what are the better radio edits? The one where it like bleeps completely, or where it goes like, where it's like, he's like, I don't give a frick, you can even do it. I don't give a butt, you can eat my butt. I don't know. What's the shit? I am on one today. You gotta have the record scratch? No, dead ass. Like, I don't give a. You could touch my. What's better, radio edits or Kids Bop? Because I fuck with Kids Bop. As someone who used to work in education, right, and would need to play music, Kids Bop slapped because I always knew this is good. Like the best part about Kids Bop is I didn't have to think about it. I knew I could just put on a Kids Bop album and I didn't have to worry about what the music was gonna come in. So like parents wouldn't get mad at me. Kids Bop go hard for that. If you're a teacher, Kids Bop go hard. Oh yeah. The Black Eyed Peas song. That song is crazy, bro. They really said, "Let's get in here. Let's get in here. Get to it. Get started." Is there a Kids Bop version of Kendrick? There's not, right? There's a parody, but there's not like an official Kids Bop version. That would be funny. They really said, "Let's get redacted. Let's get redacted in it." What? But you know what? It fucking slapped, dude. It slapped hard as fuck. Get to it. Get stupid. Get started. Okay, let's take this first call. Hey, we got a call. Yo, coming up to stream, we have Brian calling from Florida to talk about topic number 5, abortion all 9 months. Brian, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and your pronouns. Fantastic. Brian, how are you doing today? All right, awesome. Brian, I'm doing phenomenal. It's slightly to the left, like it hangs low and to the left, but I'm doing great. Brian, I believe we should allow abortions throughout the entirety of the pregnancy. Brian, you're muted. Let me unmute Brian. Brian, all Brian said was that he's 39, he, him, and he said he's doing good today. Brian, I believe abortion should be allowed through all 9 months of the pregnancy. If you disagree, can you tell me, let me know if you disagree and then tell me why.
I do disagree, and I actually have a solution that both sides would not like, but is I think the only solution to ending abortion. And I think there's several things we can compromise on with abortion and with other things.
I'm gonna let you know, Brian, I've never heard someone start that sentence the way you did and continue that sentence with a good faith answer. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say, but I ain't holding my breath.
Interesting. Okay. Well, so with abortion, no one's going to like any of my answers here.
Wonder why.
I don't think women who have abortions immediately after getting pregnant are murderers. They shouldn't be treated as murderers. But I also don't think it's right. So I think all the way up to 9 months, someone who gets an abortion, it should be the equivalent of like a parking ticket if it's done immediately after. But as time goes on, I think it should be a graduated scale, all the way up to where you're talking about 9 months, it's actually on the other end of the spectrum where you're not happy, where I think you should go to jail unless it's medically necessary, which is only like 2%. of at that stage the abortions. They're elective. So I think even if that weren't true, it shouldn't be okay to kill a baby at 9 months. But at the same token,
Why would
a
you
woman
why would you
shouldn't be.
assume we have to kill it?
Well, because that's what an abortion is. It's the termination of a pregnancy. Actually, according to Yale, it's a termination of a pregnancy before viability. And at 9 months, it's viable. If it's not viable,
I
then
would use a different definition than what Yale is using.
Yeah.
I would
But
just say an abortion
that
is a
would be my
termination of a
solution.
pregnancy at any point in the pregnancy. After 24 weeks, the way you would terminate the pregnancy is by just taking the fetus out, unless there was a medical reason why you couldn't.
Yeah, and I don't think that's okay. So that's where I think there is value to life
What's not okay about it?
inherently. Well, I think it becomes evil. I think the more, and even it gets even worse, and the continuum works because when a baby is born, after they're born, it's more evil in our society's eyes to kill them, and we give rights to humans like as if they pass through this magical portal that is the vagina, and it is much more complex than
We
that.
give
There's
rights
a
to
lot
humans when those humans' autonomy is separate from another human.
and I don't
We
think
don't
that's
give rights to
okay
humans why not?
because it's impossible to tell when that individual can exactly. I mean, I think we can approximate. Science is pretty close to knowing when, for example, like sentience is established, or when a baby can actually
I'm just talking
live
about legal
outside.
rights. Legal rights are given to you when you are no longer like connected to another human. That's when you get legal
Right.
rights.
Well, I
I'm not
mean,
talking about like
and
if
it
we
kind of
want to talk about
well, 'cause
moral
baby,
consideration, then I would absolutely say it's placed upon sentience.
but and with the legal thing, like babies can't go to court and represent themselves. So it's like the idea
They
is
still have
that
legal rights.
they do, and I
Yes.
think they have a right to life.
Yeah, I would agree. As soon as they are no longer connected to another person, I believe they get those rights. Yeah, legally.
So, but from the moment they're born, they're genetically separate. So when
I
you
don't know
say
why
connected,
I don't know why we're talking about
you're saying connected
born.
by the umbilical cord?
I mean, like physically, they are connected to another human. They are physically reliant on another human to maintain their homeostasis. Therefore, I would not grant them their own separate rights because they are reliant on another human. So their rights are superseded by the rights of the human that they are reliant on.
So that's the same thing that slaveholders say about slaves,
It's quite
right?
literally not. It would be if you weren't listening to a word I said. So if you're
Do you
telling me
understand
here
that,
you
though?
weren't
Do you
listening to
understand
a
the
word,
point that I'm making?
so you're not, no, because you didn't listen to a word I said. If you listened to what I said, you would know that, oh, this is actually not this thing slave owners never argued homeostasis, did they? I'm talking about homeostasis, your ability to maintain homeostasis on your own or with some sort of medical device, absent of another human keeping you alive via homeostasis. That's what would grant you legal rights. Has nothing to do with the way
Yeah.
slaves were treated. I don't know. So Brian, if we're going to continue this conversation, I really need you to address the points I'm making.
just trying to understand what you're saying.
Okay, but I
You're
need you to
saying
address the actual words I'm stating,
life,
please.
the value of someone's life is dependent on whether or not they can sustain themselves. Is that what you're saying?
Nope. I'm saying what gives someone legal rights is their ability to maintain homeostasis. What gives somebody, for
legally,
instance,
that's true.
moral consideration would be would be sentience. Moral consideration I would grant at sentience. Legal rights I would grant when you're no longer connected to another person.
Do we have a perfect way of measuring sentience?
Do we have a perfect way of measuring sentience? No. Do we have an idea of when sentience begins? Yes. Do we know the parts of the brain necessary to run a sentient experience? Yes. Do we know when those parts of the brain occur and are created? Yes.
So if I was driving on a dark road and I saw something moving, and I don't know exactly what it is, it could be Could be a deer. It could be nothing. It could be a paper bag flying. It could be a person. I don't know what it is, but it's dark and I'm driving. I don't know what it is. It could be. It could not be. Do you stop or do you keep driving?
Relevance?
Relevance is if you don't know if it's human or not, you err on the side of caution. And if we can't establish when sentience is exactly, then we need to err on the side of caution.
Again, I
Otherwise,
just told you we
you're
know.
risking killing
Hold on,
human
hold on.
beings.
There's a difference between being able to measure the like level of sentience and knowing when sentience occurs. We know exactly when sentience begins, and we can.
No, we do not.
Yes, we do. It's 24 weeks.
Oh, okay. So the
That's when
biology adheres to the human schedule of weeks. Like, and if you boil down to weeks, there would be variance in hours, right? Like, I could grant you the range of weeks, but then you go down
Brian,
to days.
this is a really
and there's
dumb
variance.
argument because we know the markers necessary in the brain, so we can just test if we don't know for sure. We can do brain scans and see whether the things necessary to run sentience are there or not.
Yeah, but that's not a perfect science, and you've admitted that it's not a perfect science.
No medicine is
So
a
the
perfect science. Should we not do all medicine
Exactly.
because some of it is messed up?
No, we shouldn't
That's
kill
stupid.
people on science that's not perfect. That's all I'm saying.
We do that all the time.
It doesn't make it right.
I would say it's justified 100% of the time in the case of abortion.
Well, that would make you an ideologue. I guess under what conditions would you be incorrect?
How does that make me an ideologue specifically?
I'll demonstrate.
I don't need a demonstration.
conditions-
I just want you to tell me. I want you
I
to
am telling you.
I don't need it substantiated with an analogy. I want to see
I'm
if
telling
you
you
can
and showing you.
I don't need you to show me. I want to know that you have the ability to just substantiate it with
Your audience
words.
needs to see this.
How that makes me an ideologue.
Well, because you can't, if you can't create the inverse of what would make your argument invalid, then that makes you an ideologue. That
has
means
nothing
that
to
you
do with.
can't.
That has nothing to. No, it doesn't.
Well, then under what conditions would you be incorrect? And under what conditions would it be
The
wrong?
only condition in which abortion is unjustified is an abortion that is forced. If it is not a coerced abortion, then that abortion is not unjustified.
Forced upon who?
Forced upon the person having the abortion.
What
obviously.
about the person that's getting killed? Does that matter?
The person getting killed does not matter, actually. Fun fact. If it's prior to sentience, they absolutely do not matter to me specifically. They could matter to a bunch of other people because value is subjective. But I would say, again, I don't think they have moral consideration. So I don't care if we kill something that does not have moral consideration. Just like I don't care if you chop down a tree in your backyard, Brian. I wouldn't cry about it.
People aren't trees, and that's the difference. We have clarity but not agreement.
People aren't trees, you fucking jackass. We're talking about something that is moral consideration. So I'm comparing two things that I do not grant moral consideration to. Keep up with the things that we're comparing. Can you keep up with the things that we're comparing? We're comparing moral consideration.
Trees are both things that you don't have value for.
I don't know if you are only capable of listening to the first part of sentences, but I'll repeat it and maybe you'll be able to hear the whole thing. More people prior to sentience, I do not grant moral consideration to. Just like I do not grant moral consideration to trees. We do. It's 24 weeks.
You say 24 weeks. Oh, okay, yeah. Biology doesn't adhere to a calendar. So when you say that,
actually, fun fact, development does adhere very closely to developmental stages. Yes, and those stages have general agreed upon times in which those stages occur.
And that's the problem.
No shit, but I've already, Brian, again, this proves that you're not listening because I already said we can do brain scans. If you think, oh, it might be early, if the sentience might have shown up earlier, it might be late. We can do brain scans, you jackrabbit. Just like we can brain scan a person to know, just like we can brain scan a person to know when they're brain dead, because we know what we need to see in the brain scans for a sentient experience to be able to occur. So if we don't see that, they're not sentient, do whatever you want. If we do see it, then they do have the capacity for sentient, then guess what? We say, hey, they are granted a level of moral consideration. You jackrabbit.
But you're not, ad hominems aside, you're not
It's not an ad
acknowledging the
hominem
actual
because
core of the
it's not an
argument.
ad hominem. I've actually addressed the argument 100% of the time. Everything I've said to you has been
When
an
you
addressal
call
of the
someone a
argument. It's not,
jackrabbit,
no, when I call,
when you
nope,
when you call
no, it's
someone a
not. No, it
jackrabbit,
isn't.
that's called
No, it's not. It's
yeah.
called
It's
an
funny.
insult.
Like
It's called an insult. It would be an ad hom if I didn't address your argument, but I am also addressing your
okay,
argument. I'm just insulting you, you idiot.
okay, yeah. So you are insulting me, yeah.
Yes,
So that means you lost
100%.
the
I'm
argument, right?
100% I'm insulting you. No, you thinking that
That,
means
that,
I
that means
lost
you
the
lost.
argument is stupid, because that just means you are now performing an ad hominem. You're attacking my calling you stupid and saying, well, now I've won the argument. That's not an addressal of the argument I've made. So now you are actually
Yeah,
reverse ad hominem. I want you to address
you're
the
going on.
argument. Do you
Well,
recognize that
the
science
argument
can
is
do you
sentience.
recognize that we can do a brain scan and see if the part actually, let me start from the beginning. What parts of the brain are necessary to operate sentience, Brian? Do you even know?
Nobody knows entirely.
Incorrect.
That's the nature of
Incorrect.
the human brain.
Incorrect. False.
Science isn't
That's
settled on
stupid
this.
as fuck for
You
you to
already
say.
said it's
Incorrect.
not perfect. Is it
Incorrect.
perfect or
False.
not?
Incorrect.
Is it a
Nope.
perfect science of
I
knowing when
love that
sentience
I love
begins
that
or
you have
not?
to straw man because you don't listen to what I say. What I said was
Well,
we can't measure the amount of sentience something has, right? So we can recognize that an ant
Exactly.
and a human. You're so stupid. Be quiet when I'm speaking. Know your place. We can understand that an ant and a human have different levels of sentience, but we know that they are both sentient because we know what's required of a brain to be sentient. Just like we know that a human, like a 20-year-old and like a 1-week-old baby, probably don't have the same level of sentience, but they are both sentient actors because we know the
It's still a
things
judgment.
necessary in the brain. I don't know why you're speaking right now. Did I say, Brian, it's your turn to talk? No, I didn't. Thanks so much. So
You're
we
losing very
know,
bad. That's why you
I don't
get
know
rude.
why. Okay, now you're muted. When I tell you don't speak, you don't speak. Learn your place. Okay? Learn your place. So again, we can measure the parts of the brain that are necessary to run sentience in humans, and we know what this is. We know that you have to have neurons that have reached a specific stage of maturity. Typically, that's the 8th stage of maturity when it comes to your neurons. We know that you have to have brain waves, right, and brainwave patterns that are cohesive to good outcomes, is how we like to describe it. Essentially, are those brainwaves the same type of brainwaves we see in somebody who is already operating and running their sentient experience? We know that you have to have a specific mass of neurons. So you have to have a specific mass of neurons. Your neurons have to reach a specific mass in order to operate that sentient experience. We know these things, and we know that these things all tend to show up around 24 months gestation, and we know that we can test for all of these things. So if it is the case that you go, well, how do we know this fetus is sentient? We fucking brain scan it, you jabroni. Now, again, this will tell me what type of abortion I think somebody should be allowed to have, right? Whether that be a lethal or non-lethal abortion. I think non-lethal abortion should be prioritized for fetuses that are specifically what's the word I'm looking for? Not specifically that are sentient. So sentient fetuses should have like non-lethal abortion methods, whereas lethal abortion methods are okay if there is a medical reason or the fetus is not yet sentient. This is how we should essentially keep it. Okay? Now, if you want to address these claims, I'd love for you to address those claims. But if you say anything that is not addressing those claims, I will just mute you. Again, because that means that you are unable to do this. So I'm going to unmute you. You're going to hear a beep. Address what I just said with an actual critique.
Okay. So you said that at 24 weeks or around 24 weeks are the words that you used. We know that sentience begins, and you have a different prescription, or there's a different form of termination of the pregnancy. It's not there's that line there, and you treat it differently. And what I'm saying is that you don't know when sentience begins, because when you say around 24 weeks, you didn't. You're running away from it.
I've literally addressed it. I don't know why you're bringing it back up.
When you say
I addressed
around,
it. Do I need to pull
exact.
back up? Do I need to pull back up the tape of me addressing this? Because I will.
No, you didn't.
But you will owe me a $25 waste my time tax.
Well, you're not addressing my point.
I did address it. Do I need to pull up the tape and show me addressing it? Because you will owe me $25 if you waste my time. Do I need to
I
pull up the
promise you,
tape?
you're not.
Do I need to pull up the
Yes,
tape of me addressing it?
fine.
Great. Do you
Pull
agree
up-
that if
pull
I
up-
address it, you owe me
you
$25
think you're
for wasting my
addressing it.
time? Do you agree that if I pull the tape
Yes.
up and I addressed it, that you owe me $25 for wasting my time? Great. You're gonna go on mute while I pull the tape up. Unfucking believable. The fact that I have to do this fucking shit on my fucking day off, it's not my day off, necessary to run sentience in humans.
Okay,
And we
here
know
we
what this
go.
is. We know that you have to
Oh,
have,
cool. Here it is right
you have
here.
to have neurons that have reached a specific stage
This
of
is it
maturity.
right here.
Typically, that's the 8th stage of maturity when it comes to your neurons. We know that you have to have brain waves, right? And brainwave patterns that are cohesive to good outcomes, is how we like to describe it. Essentially, are those brainwaves the same type of brainwaves we see in somebody who is already operating and running their sentient experience? We know that you have to have a specific mass of neurons. So you have to have a specific mass of neurons. Your neurons have to reach a specific mass in
Yes, they
order
do.
to operate that sentient experience. We know these things, and we know that these things all tend to show up around 24 months gestation, and we know that we can
Yes.
test for all of these things. So
there
if
it
it is the case that you go, well, how do we know this fetus is sentient? We fucking brain scan it, you jabroni. Now, I addressed it by saying that we test for it and we can brain scan it. Great. Now you're going to be unmuted, Brian. I did address that. I would like the $25 now to either my Cash App or Venmo or a YouTube Super Chat.
You didn't address it because
I
it's the
addressed it,
word
Brian. I would like the
around.
$25. I said that we can test for it. I gave you the specific parameters, all things we can test
I
for.
gave you an
and we can test
analogy.
for them. I don't care about your analogy. I already brought up the fact that it is testable.
Oh, you don't care about
We
that's
can
the
do
point.
the test.
point was the
Brian,
analogy.
no, I'm not letting you speak now. You owe me $25 for wasting my time. As I said, it can be tested for. All of the parameters that I listed, that are the things that engage in running a sentient experience, can be tested for. We can run brain scans to see if a fetus has the necessary components in the brain to be sentient. I have addressed this. We know they show up around 24 weeks. If it's sooner, we test for it. We test it, and if it's later, we test it. Now, you either pay the $25, or I will remove you and move on to the next person, because I don't talk to people that cannot honor their bets. So I'm going to unmute you one more time. All I want to hear is a yes or no. Are you going to pay the $25 that you owe for wasting my time? You're going to hear a beep. That's you unmuted. I want a yes or a no.
You're missing the range. It's around.
Bye. Bye. See ya. I wanted a yes or no. You didn't give it. Bye. I already said this. If it's around and we can test for it, I wonder what that means, goofball. Mods, please add a note to Brian's call number that he cannot call back in if he does not pay his $25 debt that he now owes for losing a bet. Like, what the fuck? Pretty simple. Anyway, it is so embarrassing to me to make a bet on something that, like, you're clearly gonna lose. Right? Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Somebody on Twitch either send a gift sub or a follow or bits. I'm trying to test something. Let's see if it works now. It's easy to make a bet if you have no intention on paying. No, it truly. Yeah, it's working out. Great. Beautiful. All right, let's take our next call. Brian, I hope one day you pay your bets and then you call. Satan's MVP, thank you for gifting a sub to Phobos Plus Plus. Okay, let's take our next call. Coming up next to show, we have Alex. Alex is calling from Canada with a kind of a thing on topic number 4. Alex, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and your pronouns.
Yeah, 32, he, him.
Cool. Okay, Alex, I believe that there's no reason to support Trump. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
It's just right out of the gate, I got to say that I do not agree with Trump at all, and I do not consider myself a right-winger nor a centrist. But I wanted to address something. I've been watching your stream for a while, and I've noticed that it came up often that right-wingers were being belittled by being called like uneducated. And
True, they are.
I understand that, you know, it's common sense that most of these people are uneducated, but I feel like that's mostly the reason why they vote for Trump, but not in a derogatory way. What I mean by that is I understand the reason why they vote for Trump, because I feel right now that Trump and the right is more appealing to the working class, which is odd because I've always thought that the left was supposed to be there for the working class. And I've noticed more than ever that the working class, so the uneducated people, are being labeled as being stupid because they didn't go to school. And I don't like.
They're not
this
dumb
being
because
the
they didn't go to
argument.
school, and uneducated doesn't just mean like didn't go to school. Uneducated means they are
Correct.
uneducated on political policy. They can easily make
Okay.
themselves educated. Some of them are too dumb to even do that, but like they can easily make themselves educated, right? When I say that they're uneducated, it
Yes.
simply means they are not aware of political policy and how that a policy affects the world around them.
Understood. Okay. I just wanted to be sure that it was not correcting them about the fact that, you know, they didn't go far in school and they dropped out and all, and just
No, I don't care if
being
they
the
went to
butt of the
school or
joke
not.
on that.
You can not go to school and be educated. Now, do I think a lot of
Agreed.
them
Okay.
are very stupid? Yes, they're dumb. A lot of them are idiots.
Oh, absolutely.
But like most of
These
them,
things are not
that
related.
vote for Trump, they don't actually care about anything except hurting brown people. So those people are stupid idiots.
For sure. I just wanted to make sure, just to understand where you standed on the issue, because again, I feel especially in the modern landscape, the reason to vote for Trump, even though it is a false promise, is technically something that would make sense for even the left to do, which is to promise the working class better condition and jobs back and all. This is something technically that would make sense for the left, but is being, you know, basically a Trojan horse for all the rest of the bullshit. So I understand the working class, the logic behind if they forget everything else, which is just to forget about everything affecting people that are not who they are related to or who they love. I don't know how to explain that better than what I'm doing right now, but it's they are just focusing on their own well-being, and it does make sense
Yeah,
for people in the
think
working class
I
since
think
they're
a lot of
struggling.
people in that sense are also uneducated, because when they sit here and they go, well, Trump's for the working class. I would understand if you might believe this in before his first term, but we have an entire term of him now being like we have his whole first term to know that he like quite literally did not care about the
Oh,
working
absolutely.
class. So no, I don't I think if you still believe that, you're kind of stupid, because we have plenty
Yeah,
of
I agree.
evidence.
I agree
All it
with that.
takes is a Google search to see that.
And it does amaze me, especially being Canadian, since we are kind of outside what's going on in the United States. It just baffles my mind that people who are from the working class, which should be supported by the left-leaning candidates, which aren't a lot, I guess, in the United States, since the Democrats are more centrists or even right-wingers to a degree. And I think it's a shame that these people are being led astray by a con man who sold them the promise of being there for the working class, but that you said it's clearly not the case, and it was just straw man and just jingling keys with nice promises.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, I just wanted to make sure that we were not laughing at people for being uneducated, not politically, but academically. So
No, I
if
laugh
it's
at
not the
people for
case,
being stupid all the
I
time.
don't
but I
have
don't
any
laugh at
debate
people
with
that are
you.
uneducated.
Yeah. Okay, then we're standing on the same ground. I just wanted to make sure that, we're not on high horses laughing at people who lack the education to give them the tools to have the critical thinking to, realize that they're being conned, basically.
Nope. Like I said, I laugh at people that are stupid. I don't laugh at people that are uneducated.
All right, then I won't waste too much of your time. I'll give you other callers that are actually willing to debate and being right wingers and stuff and all that fun shit. So yeah.
All right.
All right. Cheers.
Goodbye. No callers right now, so we're gonna just chill and wait to see if we get some more. Hey, Fanatic, thank you for subscribing with Prime for your 14th month. Satan's MVP, thank you for gifting 1 tier 1 sub. I think I said that already. And thank you guys for the bits. Also, Billy Sipes said, not paying Brian's waste your time tax. I am paying you a have to deal with dishonest Philbro tip. Thank you so much, Billy. Billy's about to make it so I can buy a bicycle. I want to buy a bicycle this weekend. So badly. I want to start riding bikes again. Who wants, listen, if you guys have liked, what do you think about the claim of the US being the best country in the world? Stupid as shit. Sorry, stupid as fuck. Dumb. If you guys want to support the stream, Cash App and Venmo are on screen. You can support the live stream, or you can send a super chat. All of those things support the stream. Obviously, I prefer Cash Apps and Venmos, but if you got super chat, want to send a super chat, send it. If you don't, then don't. I totally don't mind if you don't either. Oh, okay. Boom. 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 I'm doing so much, bro. Doing so much on this damn thing for my peeps. Okay. Someone has to send a message that gets banned on Twitch. So somebody drop, like, I need one of my black viewers to drop an N-word with the A in Twitch chat. It works. Oh, shit. I don't know which of you are actually black, except for like one. So I'm not gonna approve any of them. You know what? But I just knowing that they show up now is so sick. Actually, I'll approve all of them. Fuck it. Hopefully you guys are black. All right, don't send any more. Stop. Stop it. I was just testing some stuff. Why did it flag pseudo-intellectual? I'm having so much fun building this fucking tool. Oh God, bro. We gotta call screening right now. We have a call screening. Clap, 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 clap. We have a call screening. Clap, 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 clap. We have a call screening. A call screening. A call screening. Call screening. Call screening. I kind of want to go look at the green reflecting pool this weekend. I wish it was fucking open when I was in DC, yo. Dead ass. I wish that shit had been open when I was in DC. On God. 219-327-8005. What bikes are you looking at? Just a bike that I fit, homie. Jovan, you the GOAT? True. True. I'd like to buy a bike today, honestly. I don't have it yet today, though. I don't get paid for another couple of days. When's that Daddy Soros check come in? Honestly, God, can we get some? Mods, please make sure you're looking in that chat because that's where I'm mostly going to be messaging you guys to tell you anything. I'm just trying to see if this new feature that... Yes, baby! Oh my God. Ooh, 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 ooh. As a Phil bro, I apologize for dealing with that idiot. God damn. God damn. This is a textbook leftist male. Okay. And I still get more fucking poontang than you do, homie. Are you there, God? It's me, Fiona. Let's take our next call. Coming up to stream, we have Tony. Tony is calling in from Illinois to talk about. Actually, Tony, I'm sorry, Tony. I'm not talking about that right now. So if you want to call back on a different day, but that's not on the list. So I'm not really talking about prison and police abolition today. Sorry, I just noticed that. But if you want to call back on another day when it's on the list, please do. I'm trying to keep the office hours calls directed on the topics. So feel free to call back a different day, Tony, with that question. Or go read one of the books in my source document. In fact, go to my source document. Here, hold on. Let me take you up so I can tell you. Hey, Tony, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, go to my source document when you get the chance. Go to the reading list, and there's specifically a book in there I want you to read, and that's going to essentially answer the question that you're going to ask me. Where is that document? It is here. You want to go to the reading list, and you want to go specifically to trying to make sure you can get to the part I want. Go to race, colonialism, and liberation, prison industrial complex, and police violence. And you can read essentially any of these, but the best one for you would be the book Prisons Make Us Safer by Victoria Law. And that one's going to answer that question really succinctly.
Okay. Did you post a link somewhere? for the
It's
first
just in my
document? I
it's
didn't
just
see
in
it.
my link. It's in my link tree.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the information. And I did, while I got you for a second, want to apologize. Just if that conversation we had a couple days ago got a little weird, because I felt like you were kind of not down for that near the end. We were
Did we
like,
talk? Did we
I-
talk
I
a
was-
couple days ago? I don't remember.
yeah, it was the Anakin Padme, that whole thing.
Oh no, that was fine.
Oh, okay. I'm just being overly sensitive. That's okay. Anyways, I hope you get some good calls coming soon, and I will definitely check that out.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, bye.
All right, see you. Okay, we are currently waiting for a call to be screened. Not a lot of calls today. Tony. Hail the Platypus, thank you for subscribing with Amazon Prime over on Twitch. Guys, what kind of bike should I buy? A mountain? If I had the money, I'd get an electric one. But maybe mountain is the way to go. Tonight. Today, all day, I have a feeling a miracle would happen. I know now it was right. Just got my Tina Street e-bike and he loves it. Costs about $800. Yeah, I would want to get like a mountain bike that also has a thing. Sounds like you need more donations for an electric one. Nah, it's okay. I feel weird doing that, you know? Like, that's not me. I'm not buying anything for like the community. I'm just buying something for me that I want to use, you know? Today, all day, I have a feeling a miracle would happen. You're allowed toys, Jovan? I don't believe that. I don't. Tonight. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. To the caller in the queue, I don't really want to talk about Kids Bop as a debate topic. I'm like so sorry, but like that was just a joke. I don't actually want to talk about Kids Bop. Sorry, but also like not that sorry. It's too big, it's too wide, it won't fit. Maybe if we, I don't know. Ah! Yo, WK, what's the full username here? That was so nice of you. Misty Nipples! Misty Nipples! Thank you for the super chat towards the bike fund and singing my favorite musical. Which one was your favorite? West Side? I love West Side, bro. That's the one musical where I'm like, damn, sucks I'm not white. I wanna be. You want to be a jet? I just think Tony is a fucking meaty role, right? Tony is such a meaty role, but you got to be white to be Tony. I don't want to be white to be white. I just would like to play Tony one day. That's what whiteface is for, is crazy. 219-327-8005, by the way, that's the number. If you want to debate, that's the number. All right, let's see if this works now. Hi, chat. Oh, reconnect Twitch in mod view. In mod tools. Oh, okay, hold on. Disconnect. Connect. Authorize. Current. All right, let's see if this works. Hi, chat. Nice. Nice, bro. I'm having so much fun. Who would want to debate a bigot like this guy? Your mother fucking touches herself to the thought of me, so I hope you feel good about that. GTA 6 pre-order start July 25th. I'll believe it when I see it. Somebody calling Jovan a bigot is crazy. No, I'm definitely a bigot. Yeah, no, I'm definitely a bigot. You need to meet up with evidence first sometimes? Who's that? Do you go live on TikTok? No. I hate that website. Do you generally hold that The Office is the best sitcom? Like it's not my favorite, but I do think like technically it's the best. You get an Assassin's Creed 4 resynced. Hell yeah, bro. Oh shit, Spencer, thank you for the Venmo. Hold on. Let me see what those said. Spencer said, you make me watch Jimmy Snow on the Line once a week in spite of Jimmy, and for that I'll never forgive you, but I hope you get a sweet bike. Oh, thank you. Be it, thank you for the Venmo. Said West Side Story props, happy Pride. Yo, happy Pride, everybody, happy Pride. Happy Pride. Fuzzy, go check Discord for a second. Why not mention the 13th Amendment and abortion? Women's bodies forced to work to carry a child sounds like involuntary servitude. I don't think I would equate it to some level of like involuntary labor, but I don't know that I would tie it in with like chattel slavery in the 13th Amendment. No. Don't call in. Just give this nasty fuck what he wants. Don't gotta say it like that. Yo, Neo, if you're trying to get in, just tell me. God damn. Sad. You call me a nasty fuck? I tried Jovan's account. I tried to call him to the Kids Pop debate, but is too scared about. What are we gonna talk about? Like, I don't really care about the Kids Pop thing. See, he's dodging. True. Shit. Dodge. Talk about the horror show of duck mating. Brother! Hey there, you, hey there. How are you doing? Finally got into Jujutsu Kaisen. The prequel in the middle is annoying. Actually, it's really good. 219-327-8005. If we can get a call. If we don't get a call, then I'm just going to sit here and chill. Video essay on a duck's penis. Video titled The Duck Penis Defense. I genuinely think I've won all debate. Yeah. That's why people don't call us, because I've won all debate ever. I haven't finished culling games either. I am very behind on culling games. Of the last week, what's the most memorable call? Bad calling in again? Not Robin's trying to time me out. What did I do? Said Jovan transgenderisms. Shit, true. When's it getting posted to YouTube? Oh god, probably not for a couple of days. I gotta catch up on the YouTube VOD posting, swear to god. When you walk away, you don't hear me say. All right, let's see if I ordered a bike on Walmart. How much would it be, and could I get it today? I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. Oh, here's a bike. I need to know the weight limit on that bike, though. Because I weigh 100 pounds. I'm actually not as fat as I thought I was growing up. Well, growing up, like recently. Especially with like legit how much I've fucking slowed down on eating. I eat like once or twice a day now. Because this one doesn't tell me. I'm on fucking meds that doesn't let me eat because my doctor said you have to be on these meds for your diabetes. Eating in this economy? Trying the Ozempic, not Trulicity. Try my blood sugar. But I also do my source documents in my link tree. I also do a lot more movement. Like I go for a walk basically every day now. But I want to switch from walking to bike riding. I just feel like bike riding is fun. You know? You know? You don't look fat, Jovan? Okay. But I am fat, and that's what makes me happy. I like being fat. I wouldn't know how to act if I was not fat, truthfully. You need my training wheels? I know how to ride a bike, chap. Okay, I think I found the bike I want, maybe. But it's like $228. I don't want to spend $228. Oh, I could get the red one. It's like $178. I'll keep looking at bikes later. Damn, we had no calls today. Can you please recommend a free ebook source? Not free, but $10 a month gets you Verso or Haymarket. And I would do both of those, like, in a heartbeat. Jovan's defeated MAGA. True. Oh my God. Can I call in to ask questions about gender affirming care? Only if they're questions that aren't answered by my source document. So please check the source document first. Because I do feel like oftentimes people ask me questions that are like addressed directly in this thing that I worked so long on putting together for you guys. You know? Do you like Steam? Stream. Do you like stream? What? You should have a debate topic about how Trump's Iran. I did yesterday. Was it yesterday? About how Trump's Iran, or Tuesday. How about how Trump's just like blew the Iran thing so fucking hard. Did y'all hear the girl that played Lilo and Lilo and Stitch died, like the original? Did y'all see that? That's so sad. Yeah, she was only 35. Yeah, meningitis. That's sad. We have a call screening, so we'll see if that's a call. About how they are protecting the reflecting pool from leftist agitators during administration. Is the leftist agitators the algae that got into it, or? This bike is $300. I don't have $300 to spend on a bike right now. That's $300. Me no have that. Even though they literally have one at my Dick's right around the corner. Dick's. I love me some Dick's. It's a $700 bike on sale for $300. It doesn't tell me what the max weight capacity of this bike is, though. I need to know. It's a question that I kind of need answered. You know? I know I can fit the height one, but I need to know the weight capacity. Ah! Damn, Tim, thank you so much. Tim said, bike fund, thanks for all you do. Thank you. From my experience searching, most big box bikes are going to be around 220 to 250 weight limit. That ain't gonna work for me, dog. I hate to break it to you. What's the name of the bike? Nishiki Adult Colorado Mountain Bike. Well, if anyone can find the like real weight capacity of this fucking bike, I'm not seeing it on Dick's website. Oh wait, here we go. Specifications. I don't see it here either. I see like a height thing, but I don't see one for weight. This bike will hold your weight. I don't know. Yo, once again, Tim, thank you so much. Jovan, I am a professional mountain bike guide. I may not be a Reddit Crow expert, but trust. How do I know you are though? Although your picture is you on a mountain, so that seems very trustworthy. I'm just so worried I'm gonna spend all this money and then get a bike that I can't ride. You know? Personally, I do wish I could get an e-bike instead, but I understand how much more those are. Like a nice e-bike, an e-bike mountain bike that could like hold me would be the way I would want to go. Damn, e-bikes are expensive. Damn. Damn, Zaddy. That's crazy. Send us some e-bikes, see if an emails and see if an e-bike company would sponsor you. From what I'm thinking, mountain bikes to go 275 to 300 should be good. It should be able to hold 350 just to be safe. Oh, here we go. Best bikes for heavy riders. I am heavy, okay? I am heavy. Okay, okay, this is too much, dude. This is too much. These bikes are way more expensive. God damn. I don't know what to do. Computer! This one looks okay. Outroad fat tire mountain bike with 26-inch wheels. I don't want to have to put it together. Bikes are expensive. I'm learning that, actually, chat. I'm actually learning something today. And it's that bikes are fucking expensive. I could just go to Dick's today, yeah, and be like, hey, I'm a bigger guy. I want to see if these bikes will hold me before I purchase one. Handlebars, front, wheels, seat, pedals, should be all these. I don't want to assemble. Do not go to a bike store for a bike. Oh, I would just go to Dick's. We got some calls screening right now, so let's... There's no shot. Huh? Okay. Okay. All right, we got a call, but it looks like it's an office hours call. So coming up is Zama calling from New York. Zama is calling from New York. Zama, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
No doubt. 34, he, him.
All right. And Zama, what was your question today?
So, I could argue on behalf of the person with whom I'm arguing. I've called in the past. I actually would seek your sort of response to a person who would say, you know, let's say I live in, you know, a predominantly Black neighborhood, and maybe I even suffer from Black trauma. You know, people, you know, as say I'm a white person, but nonetheless, I harbor the belief that Black people are inherently violent, or at least their culture. And I was going through your resource document, and I was wondering, you know, what would be perhaps your go-tos, especially with the lens of violence as a prism.
Sorry, they want what now?
Right. So to truncate it, their viewpoint is Black people are either Black folks or their culture is inherently violent, and I'm
why-
looking for like your go-to.
Make them prove
Well,
it. Have them substantiate
well-
that. How would they substantiate that in any way?
Right. Well, again, one of the fallacies is, you know, they are a degreed person. I am too. However, that is not enough to point to you know, a lot of people have gone through, you know, training. And so then they will, again, it's kind of like those impromptu ad hoc moments, even if you are two relatively degreed persons. And I know the person personally, and I know their backstory of personal trauma, right? They live in a racially charged area. And I'm not necessarily saying they don't have these racist views, they do. But they'll try to look to crime rates. They actually have a degree in the field, but you know, again, when you're just kind of haphazardly coming onto the topic, they want to vent to me. I'm the only safe space. However, I'm a person of color. I'm a Black person, and so while I'm trying to say, hey, you know, somebody doing this thing to you, that's not good, and also Black people are inherently evil, but you just don't have that source off the top of your dome. You know what I mean? But we believe in JSTOR. We both do. And that was where I would want to present it, which I was just like, I thought of Jovan and I saw a slow day. So I thought to ask you that, even though it wasn't office hours, since it was either that or tell you that, you know, Total Dial song, the Total Dial dance goes really well with your theme. That's about it.
I'm just so confused. I don't understand. I mean, if they can't present you with evidence, there's nothing to argue against. Like, they're making the positive assertion here.
Right. So you're right. The claim is on them. I guess this might be, whether it's moot or not. It's kind of like if this was a person like a, you know, I don't have a debate show myself, but like I don't necessarily go about debating, you know, people's, but because this person is very close to me, and because I can also see some of the fogginess, I'm doing what Torre might say not to, which is not my obligation. I'm trying to at least engage this person. And so I'm naming that the burden is bilateral, but here's where you can
Why would the
easily
burden
get
be
started.
why would the burden be bilateral?
Well, not objectively bilateral, but because I'm making a choice for someone who, at least up until this point, I considered a friend and otherwise care for very much, despite this, which is difficult for me to hold both spaces, but out on the outset, I'm attempting to.
But I don't know what, like, without knowing what evidence they bring to the table, how do you know what to argue against? Like, they're
That's
saying
true.
Black
You
people
know,
are violent. Like, without knowing the evidence they have for that, what do I like? Do we want to look at the fact that crime
right.
rates are generally similar when we remove like arrest rates? Do we want to look at the fact that like Black people tend to live in poverty, and we know that poverty increases crime rates, or at least increases arrest rates? Like, do they think there's some gene? Do we want to look at music and compare like rap music to like heavy metal, where they scream about ripping people's faces off and eating bats? Like, I don't know what it like. Without knowing how they substantiate the argument, there's no way to counter the argument.
That's fair. And just to sort of build on that, you know, a lot of, again, you know, so we both talk about the fact that you need numbers. And then you also talk about the the spectrum between anecdote and sort of cultural reaction, right, to stuff. It's just look at the art, right? And so on both of those fronts, on the numbers front, they're at least learned enough and oddly enough, just all over the spectrum when it comes to politics, that they'll point to, as soon as I will out the gate say, neither of us have these stats memorized. And I understand that the paradigm of data collection that we do have is in necessarily hostile territory, right? When you talk about, for example, arrest rates versus conviction rates or arrest rates versus violent crime. And then I flipped the logic and I said, for example, white identified people, don't, I don't inherently say that because, X number of sex crimes and or child-related crimes, I don't say that that is an inherent thing or that the culture necessarily is. And if I make that argument, then you have to look at that because they will pivot to that, a very loud representation of hip hop is intrinsically violent, or they'll point to, again, anecdotal evidence, but sort of try to project that across, the stereotype, the inner city classroom, favorite movie stereotype where everyone gets bullied and the white kids get bullied for being white, which may or may not happen and does happen. I do believe that they had that experience. I do believe that in the case of where they grew up, no less. And so that's how I began to at least engage in that, so I guess bringing that to you, it's like, what would you say when people say, hey, so now all of a sudden you trust the FBI because aren't their statistics supposed to be racist and incomplete to begin with, for example?
I just, this is such a weird argument on their side. Like I said, again, I would love to help here, but there's nothing to give without them giving an argument. I don't know I can't argue against nothing.
No, I definitely understand. And, if somebody pays the Buddha, the moment somebody comes on, in the call log, of course, I acquiesce. But, I'll either encourage them to either call in or I encourage them to tell me more because I do admit from their perspective, it's like, hey, you're a person, white person, you're not even necessarily from the country, but you came here very young, you moved to a very black area, you got bullied to hell. It isn't necessarily, those reasons don't make excuses for the held beliefs that you do have after years of lived experience, and then, again, just looking at the one thing that I try to say in response to, critiques of our data collection methodology is, keep the same equity when it comes to like all perspectives of like rigor and rigorous data. Like, there's certain things you take for granted that we take for granted in the blinders of our biases, things we don't care about. We accept a study all day, but as soon as we disagree on a topic, all of a sudden we want the best study to ever have studied ever. And so I guess I was open to you sort of saying, like, how do you share that in your personal life with folks that you choose to not maybe on the debate platform, but like if you've ever encountered that,
I don't have to debate my personal,
start?
I don't debate people in my personal life. I drop them. But that's just me. Like if somebody says like, oh, black people are more violent, I don't need to debate you in my personal life. You're not someone I want around me. So I drop them.
No, I hear that. I hear you.
Wow.
Well, I'll end with this if nothing else, because, whether or not personal or not, engaging them requires those very vectors. What I'll say is, it becomes frustrating when you can see some, like, again, reasons aren't excuses, for every wrong done where a white kid is getting bullied or something like that, like that is inculcated from histories of like anti-blackness across every post, colonial society. So it's like, it's not therefore your experience doesn't matter. It's just like, damn, it's like, you really do like, this is a person who is a dear friend of mine, and it's like, I wish, I'm not your therapist, but I can point you in those directions. Like, you got to deal with your trauma. You have to deal with those experiences of perhaps Black faces doing things that weren't okay, but also you have the obligation, or at least the personal mandate, to understand why. And if you don't, that's cool. But like, I now have to figure out what that means for us, and that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be where the challenge is like, do you yeah, do you do it that way? But yeah, that's all I would really say is like, once they once they show me their ass like that, that's all I need to know for me to be like checked out.
Yeah, and I will say, what some of the debates that I see on your platform are really interesting, right? Even beyond the personal versus public paradigm, it's just like I really get, like, when I see somebody, because I'm dealing with a person who themselves has intersectionality at play. So you go, I am aghast in a lot of ways. It's really interesting. However, in the end of the day, those debates where it's like you see the person, like, you see that, like, those debates where you're just like, when you leave on the end of it and you might be a little exhausted, but you're like, hey, listen, person, it seems like you're shifting your beliefs. It seems like you have some purpose here, right? You're not necessarily full on MAGA this or something like that. Like, there's something to work here. Read this, point them in this direction, right? And come back to me later when some more evolution has happened on your end. Is there like a go-to study off your head before we wrap up that you're just like, hey, all right, I see the light seeming through, whether you're personal or public. Great. Start here, because I feel like
go-to study on what specifically?
Right. So, like, if the person was like hung up on violence, like trauma was involved, culture is really loud to them, but they're saying, hey, okay, Black folks maybe aren't inherently violent, right? I can't get past, it's hard for me to get past either hip hop or whatever, whatever flavor of just, it happens across cultures. Like, what would be like your go-to place for them to say, I would like a book or a study to sort of help me along the Black people aren't just violent automatons like my trauma tells me? Is there like a book or a go-to source?
I don't think I have one of those, no, because like it's not anything. There's nothing to combat, really. Like, what I mean, all I really pull them to is like the what stuff we've already said. Like, I would look at like the fucking exoneration rates, right? Like, I think that shows pretty consistently that Black people are being falsely arrested for crimes they didn't commit, which I think kind of really shows that, like, can't be that violent if we're consistently being falsely arrested.
Right. And just off the top of my head, I mean, because I was digging through the resource document, which kind of like prompted the, hey, let me call since it's quiet, moment. Is that stratified across violent crime versus not, or am I conflating two sources, like the FBI database versus that one?
Yeah, the FBI database and exoneration would be two different things. Because the FBI database only tracks arrest rates. It doesn't track convictions and exoneration rates.
Okay. All right. If I'm gonna double back to your source, but again, I see areas under construction. I'm like, yes, I support. Mamdani's. I'm from New York, so I'm just like, yes, still here. So if the source isn't there, I wouldn't. I don't. I'm not. I'm a Joe Schmo from the internet, but if it's not there, I would love for you to add it and many others. For the handful of folks who, at least at the outset, are attempting to figure something out when they are caught off guard, as I was, which is the sum of my call, which is quiet. And also, just to run it back again, I love your your outro music. When you slowed it down, I had to slow down the Total Dial dance. I don't know if you know the Total Dial dance, but it goes really well with your theme. It loops in my head rent-free.
All right. W, I guess. W Totodile theme.
You just gotta do like, just sort of jazz hands and just kind of do the same total dial. He was dancing on them. You put that to your. I'm telling you, it loops really well. But I'll leave
All
you
right.
with that.
All right, no problem.
Always a pleasure. Oh, just for next time, when's your office hours?
I mean, that's what we're doing right now, realistically. Office hours is
Right,
just
ad hoc.
whenever somebody calls.
Oh, that's fair. I know sometimes you have an official one, but
Yeah, that
yeah,
I haven't done like a official just like office hour stream in a while.
I dig it. But yeah, glad I got one off in this lull.
All right. Cool. All right. All right. I mean, seems like we've run out of calls. How long has stream been today? 2 hours. That sucks. I could go finish that game I was playing the other day. I could go finish Fever Meme. Is that what we want to do? True, I could go to Dick's and check on bike. Pretty sure I'm almost at the end of that game. IRL stream, take us to the bikes? Nah, too much identifying information about where I live in that. Could you pick my brain on that? I mean, it would be easier for you, honestly. Just go watch one of my abortion debates. That'll tell you. Where are all the callers today? Bro, it's become every day I don't do specifically Christian debates. When I'm doing like the Christian calling debates, then I don't seem to have that issue. Fuck yeah. Okay. Now, why isn't that working? Well, this is so much fun. I mean, I guess I'll go play the game. I guess I'll go play the game. Realistically, I would like to see why this is giving me issues. Settings, web controller. This should not be giving me any issues. All right, anyway. Hey, Dave, thanks for the money. I'm not going to read your message. But I'll gladly take your money. Trying to see why one of these settings is not fucking working in my thing. Yo, Richard, thank you for the $10 Cash App. How do you feel about Asian boycott and black hoods? Kind of stupid, not gonna lie to you. who mastered their debater in chat right now. Let's see. Oh. Well, then let me see if I do this then. Settings. If I do this, copy. Paste, save. Now send. I see my issue. Unlike you people, I don't need a safe space. You clearly need a safe space. The fuck? You're in here crashing out like a toddler. Clearly, you're begging for a safe space. All right, we're gonna go to Twitch and play video games. So YouTube, it's been real. I'll see you guys over on Twitch. I'll be live tomorrow for more streams. Possibly, and tonight to stream with Lux. I'll be on tonight with Lux for calling it now. So maybe we'll get some calls during that. All right. Bye-bye. All right, Twitch, I'm all you guys's. Yeah, callers are getting fewer and far between. So I'm going to have to figure something out on trying to get more calls. All right, let's get this game set up. So a few things I have to do for right now. We got open OBS. We were like right at the end of the game, right? Stop. Wait, actually, don't stop. Sources. Boom. Browse. I think this is all I have to do. Boom. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. I'm going to switch the stream to my Twitch stream, so everybody get ready. Ready? Wait, not yet. Get ready. Should go fast. Get ready.